Welcome to the Prophecy Club. If you ever decide to start your own radio program, don't necessarily pattern it after this one. And don't ever do a radio program when you're upset. But I am upset. And again, don't do this, because when you're upset and I'm upset, then sometimes we speak our heart. Sometimes we say some things that we really shouldn't say. And I might be about to do that in this broadcast. So, Lord, help me say the right words. Don't let me say the wrong words. But the topic of this, see, I'm even stumbling. So the topic of this program is going to be, I don't even like saying it, but I have to say it. I have to say it. I have to talk about it because I'm going to ask you to pray. We have got to stop this. So the topic is going to be the assassination of President Donald Trump. I don't want to see that happen. I think that would be like that would be like taking the wind out of America's sails. That would take the wind out of the church. That would take the wind out and the hope of so many people to see that our nation might clean up, might turn around. So I'm asking everybody to pray. Now, I pray, matter of fact, this is what I pray every day. Lord, protect Donald Trump, his family, staff, and presidency from all harm and evil. Expose all tricks, traps, traitors, assassination, impeachment attempts, and stop them. Give him 8 years, help him drain the swamp, kick out the scorpions and snakes, and heal our land. I do not want to see this trouble come to our nation. 32 years I've been trying to warn people because I don't want to see it come. And as I talked about in yesterday's broadcast, I believe there is some hope. And as I was just, don't make a broadcast like this. As I was just kind of seeking the Lord on what to say in this broadcast, the anointing touched me when I was thinking. I hadn't even said it out loud. I was just thinking about what I was going to say, so I know absolutely, positively, I'm supposed to tell you this next paragraph. And that is, do not fear. Do not fear. I talked about this past Sunday. If you didn't listen to that message, go back and listen to it. I think everybody needs to hear that, including me. Do not fear. Do not fear. Fear is a lack of faith. Fear is an insult to God. It is saying to God that he can't protect his own. It is an offense to him. I needed to hear that. I think you need to hear that because I'm just like you, and I tend to think, oh, yeah, he'll protect Dimitri Duduman, he'll protect others, but will he protect me? We need to know, brothers and sisters, that if we are clean, that means if we are not openly and obviously sinning and doing some things that we know that are wrong, then I believe he is going to protect us. But look, if you're listening to this program, you probably already got no sin out of you a long time ago. He is going to protect us. So let me say that again before I get into the broadcast. I believe that God is going to protect us. He wants me to tell you, do not fear. Getting into fear like paralyzes us, okay? Don't fear. Some of the things you hear on the Prophecy Club, yeah, it puts fear in me too. And so let alone you. I mean, obviously there's ministries out there that have a whole lot more people following them than this ministry. And one of the reasons is I think I run people off because I tell them the truth, whether they like it or don't, whether they like me or don't, whether they send a donation or don't. I can't let people, how do I say it? I can't bring to you what you want to. Oh, I know what you want to hear. You want to hear about the arrest. You want to hear about all these positive things and America turning. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I see the topics that get more views. I see that. But I have to bring what I feel like the Lord is wanting me to bring. So that's the point. If we can just get the point of today's broadcast, then we can just go on and talk about other things. I've got some other things I want to talk about. But that is, the point is, A, do not fear. B is, I think, I've heard through the grapevine that there's one person says there's at least 12 attempts on President Trump's life. Others say that no, it's more like over 20. Some people say 24 different attempts. Okay, but not a one of them is going to hit him if we pray, brothers and sisters. We have got to pray. We've got to do more than just attend church and sing and read our Bible and even memorize our Bible. These days, we are, but look, there's a very, very good possibility, and maybe I'll even talk about that too, that we could see the tribulation start this September the 19th. This September the 19th is the next trumpets. And they call it trumpets for a reason, because that's when Jesus returns, when the trumpet sounds, and it could very well be that the tribulation starts. The first seal opens this coming September the 19th. I don't know. I mean, no one's told me that, but I'm only saying, brothers and sisters, we are really, really close. We can't fear, but we have got to pray for our president. We have got to pray for our nation, because look, who do you think is going to be praying for this nation? The pre-tribbers? No, they don't care about this. That maybe that's a little harsh to say, but they're looking for the rapture. They're not looking for salvation. They're not looking to fill sports stadiums. They're looking for the rapture. Every time they say, oh, well, the rapture could happen any day now. Baloney. Look, when my pre-trib book comes out, How Pre-Trib Won, you absolutely positively must get you 10 or 20 or 30 copies. And you need to hand this around to all of your family, your church, regardless whether they like you or don't. You got to get this book into their hands, because this is going to, how should we say, just like the prophecy said, this is going to upset the church. It's going to rattle some cages. It's going to rattle some cages in high places within the church, because it sneaks right into the pastor's office, and it looks in the drawers and the file cabinets of the pastors, and it comes out and it reveals the dirty little secrets that the church doesn't want you to know about why the pastor is not only not free to preach anything but pre-trib, but why the pastor is controlled. He is told what he will and what he will not preach. That's right. That's the whole point of the book, How Pre-Trib Won. Now, I've kind of got off subject. Let me go on to what we're doing here. A little bit of an update. So again, I'm asking you to pray for President Trump. That's the point of the broadcast, and I'm going to get to why here in just a second. First of all, a brief little update. Okay, so we've asked you to send in your best donations, because we can't wait, brothers and sisters. We've got to start warning people. I made this 60-second spot, and I think I sent out an email yesterday, and I asked them to put in the link. I have not confirmed that the link was in there, but if you got that email, then it had a link where you could click, or at least supposedly had a link, if they remember to do that, where you could go and watch the spot, because we've got those spots start running July the 27th in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Why there? Because my agent lives there. He's got an in with the secular TV station. They're giving us a good price. It's, I think it's 34 spots for like $5,500. He's also come up with another TV promo package that he's saying this one is about $7,000. I'm not going to tell you which one, but it's a pretty large network. $7,000. Now, I understand that sounds like a lot of money. But brothers and sisters, we got 350 million people in America. How many of them have even heard of Dimitri? How many of them even understand that all of this burning and looting is, we're on the precipice of our nation falling? There's a very real possibility that the first seal will be opened this year and that Russia will attack America next year. I don't know. I'm not trying to set a date. I'm only saying we're running out of time to warn our fellow Americans. So if you can help, if God has blessed you, or I'll even say it this way, if you want to be blessed, if you want to be a part of sticking your foot in the fire and trying to delay the judgment coming on this nation, boy, I could sure use your help right now. Okay, now let's talk about the Crusade. Crusade A and B are both full. And thank you for your prayers and your financial support, because it's happening. But now we also need to pray that the sevenfold miracles will show up, because we're looking at another crusade, not exactly a crusade, another meeting, I should say it that way. First part of September, I'll get to that in a second. Or maybe another broadcast. Anyway, let me go on. So we just sent out this email to all of the Fast Track members, giving the details of our arrangement concluded yesterday to offer the crusade via live stream. Now, Again, this is, I understand you're probably thinking, well, why should I come to the crusade if I can watch it live stream? Well, you want to come to the crusade because you want hands laid on you. You want oil anointed. You want to be water baptized, spirit baptized. And none of that can happen on a live stream. But on the other hand, if you can live stream, you can watch that. You'll at least get some of our teaching, and you'll glean a lot. I mean, it's well worth the $100 that we're asking for. It cost us, let's see, we had to spend $10,000 on a TriCaster to be able to put it on the live stream, another $1,200 to actually live stream it, and another $3,500 for wireless equipment to connect the cameras up so that it will all work. And you have to understand those kind of things. If you're going to do it and not look jicky and second-class and look like a crummy, broke little Christian, and too many times Prophecy Club has looked like that, then you got to spend some money. So we're going to do a first-class job. It's going to look nice. And it's $100, and you also get 2 books. You get Leslie's What It Takes to Be a Prophet, and also her 7-Fold Miracle Crusade manual that she is going to teach through for her School of the Prophets. So you can follow along. You'll get a lot. You won't get it all because you got to be at the crusade to get it all. But nevertheless, you're still going to be, and you go to 7foldmiraclecrusades.com to sign up for the live stream. I understand we had 9 people sign up last night. We need 12 people at least to just break even on just the cost of the live streaming. And then, of course, with all the other $10,000 here, $3,500 here. But, I believe God is going to send the money. I believe he's touching the hearts of people right now. God is going to send the money. We're in the last days. We're running out of time. Our nation is about to fall. We've got to tell people this is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not a plan to just raise money. You know that. We've been talking. And by the way, you know that you have been called to be a part of that army of prophecy teachers working miracles. And it's all going to happen. Okay, now let me talk about the books. So Leslie has written a book. Another book. Yes, she's written What It Takes to Be a Prophet, the Crusade Manual. That Crusade Manual is just awesome. It's 8.5 by 11. It's about I think it's 220 pages. I hold that thing and I say, I don't even know how you did this. This had to be God. I mean, it is awesome. Then she's also just written another book called The Snake in the House. And this is exposing the Kundalini spirit that's in the churches. Anyway, the other 3 books that I've recently written, Tribulation Secrets on Daniel, How PreTribe Won, and Leslie's Snake in the House, all 3 of those books are supposed to be shipped today. So I understand they're supposed to arrive like Friday or Monday. So we've already put it up on the website. We've also got a great new offer up on the website. You can get them individual, you can get them small groups, large groups. Depends. We can get all kinds of deals. Just go to prophecyclub.com and check it out. You want to get those books. All right, now, on to why I am fearful and why I'm asking you to pray for our president so that he will not be hurt, that he will not be attacked in any sort of way, nothing, no harm or evil befall him, is this. You recall yesterday I read this. This comes to us from Pastor Dana Coverstone. It said, I saw monuments. I saw Washington, D.C. burning, set ablaze. I saw capitals surrounded. I saw state houses, state capitals surrounded, and the people screaming, making outrageous demands. Okay, all right. Up to that point, that doesn't necessarily say that we've lost our president. But here's the part that bothers me. I saw that all the curtains were pulled in the Oval Office and the White House. Now, when I first read that, even when I read that yesterday, I didn't get it. Because I was thinking, maybe this is because martial law has been declared. Maybe it's gone down into the underground bunkers under the White House. But in light of what I just learned, maybe that's not exactly what happens. Let me go on. I saw that all the curtains were pulled in the Oval Office and the White House. I saw nobody moving around. I was shown inside the actual Oval Office, the Resolute desk. I saw no one in that office. No one was seated at the Resolute desk. I want to believe it's the martial law thing. I want to believe that our president is up in Air Force One and he's protected and he's safe. But I think we got to pray, brothers and sisters. We got to pray. Our nation is in more trouble than it has been in 400 years. There was no cabinet members, no secretary, No one in the Oval Office. Now, I want to believe that's martial law. I don't want to believe that that's because there's no more president. I saw a long conference table and I saw senators, but I did not see Congress. I saw members of the Senate. I recognized the faces. Who would know the names? I saw them sitting in the room, very peaceful. There was no rush or panic. Okay, no rush or panic. See, yesterday I was thinking, oh, well, that's maybe because of martial law and they're in charge and the president's safe in some kind of a basement or off in an Air Force One up in the air someplace. But what if it's because there's not a president? See what I'm saying? I don't know. But I came into this broadcast and I'm upset. I'm upset for my nation. I want to win souls. I want to tell people. I can't seem to get people to listen. I can't seem to reach enough people. I recognize the faces. You would know the names. I saw them sitting in a room that was very peaceful, no rush, no panic. Even though outside the windows of that room, I could see there were fires burning. There was chaos outside. These men were very, very resolute. They were very, very patient. They were looking at their watches. They were in no hurry. You know, the part that bothers me is there's a real bad rumor circulating out there that maybe, just maybe, Nancy Pelosi meant something. Let me jump to that. This is July 20, 2020. Headline, Nancy Pelosi warns Trump, quote, he'll be leaving whether he likes it or not. Comes from New York Daily News. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi hit back at President Trump, warning him that he will have no choice. No choice? Warning him that he will have no choice but to leave office if American voters send him packing in November. Okay, well, yeah, I understand that, but is she saying something else? Listen, the fact is, whether he knows it yet or not, he will be leaving. The powerful Democratic leader warned Trump. Pelosi was responding to Trump's explosive suggestion on Sunday that he would have to wait and see how the vote goes before committing to accept the results. Trump, who is trailing badly in the polls, which I, by the way, don't believe. I think the polls are inaccurate and liars. They just don't have the truth. Anyway, badly in the polls, he's been raging for weeks about the potential for vote rigging with absentee ballots, which are expected to be used by millions of Americans amid the coronavirus pandemic. But there is scant evidence of fraud. Yeah, right. Yeah. Look, the Dems are cheaters, and I believe that they will cheat. They will cheat with these mailed-in ballots. It goes on to say Republicans have successfully spearheaded the use of mailed ballots for years. Yeah, but they hadn't been trying to get Trump out either. Anyway, let's go on. Some Democrats fear Trump will overturn the results of the November election if he loses, perhaps by ordering an early end to counting of absentee ballots from the Democratic strongholds received after election days. Well, I'm going to add something else. Perhaps he also declares martial law. Could it be that he's not elected, he sees all kinds of election fraud and just declares martial law, suspending the Constitution for up to 5 years? That means all of our rights are gone. That also might explain why Dana Coverson saw blue hats and Russians and Chinese troops in America. All right, now let's go back. If we're going to save our nation, brothers and sisters, we have to pray. We have to pray like we might not have ever prayed in our whole life. You recall I read this yesterday. July the 10th, Friday night, Dana Coverstone had this dream. Now I'm going to get right to the point. He says, he pulled off the calendar of the month of September. Now I'm going to skip part. He says, I was instructed to stand in the month and pray for the church to have a strong backbone for corruption in the church to be exposed. And by the way, yesterday, he didn't say in the church, but in another interview, he did add in the church. So it's not necessarily talking about the indictments. It is talking about corruption in the church to be exposed and for a great harvest to come in the coming months. I'm going to skip down a little. Then he says, I saw handwriting words in front of me, said September. After I'd prayed for a few minutes, I was instructed to get help. I was not enough. So I spoke into the air for believers to come to my side and pray with me, and the calendar below was getting bigger exponentially. I saw handwriting in the words of the word September. Those words were a solemn, and then the word assembly on either side of the word September, meaning he saw a solemn September assembly. A clear call to pray during the month of September. Now, here's what we're thinking. I've talked to Dana, and we've at least, in just a kind of a passive sort of way, agreed to have him come in and to speak at a meeting if we can put it all together, and I have not put it all together yet. But let me just tell you what's on my heart. I'd like to have a meeting, probably the first part of September. It is not a sevenfold miracle crusade. It would be just for fasting and prayer. It would be a 24-hour prayer vigil for our nation. I'll be asking people to come from all over the nation, bringing their prayer blankets, because they're going to be kneeling on carpet or maybe even concrete, depends on where we get it, prayer blankets and kneeling pillows, fasting and praying for 3 consecutive days. No food, water, coffee, and juice, okay. Light praise and worship, no prayer over 5 minutes, no sermon of leadership over 20 minutes. The objective is to fast, pray, and we will set up scheduled prayer every hour through the night. 3 solid days of nothing but fasting and prayer. Praying for healing for America, justice to be served to corruption, save our police, peace in our cities, revival in our churches. America will turn from sin. Either America turns back to God or God is going to bring destruction. We are at a crossroads. We can no longer do what we used to do and it work okay. You've heard the old saying, definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing but expecting different results. Another person said it this way: if you continue to think as you've always thought, you'll continue to get what you've always got. So we must do it different. So if we can get that meeting set up, I'll be letting you know. Right now, what I do suggest you do, if you are not coming to the crusade, you want to go to sevenfoldmiraclecrusades.com and you want to get signed up for that. Because if you can sign up real quick, we can send your books out first class and they'll still get to you, but in time for the crusades, because we're going to be live streaming both A and B. So if you were to miss a day or so because your books didn't arrive by then, which, by the way, you can still watch, but still you'd be able to get your books. Now, if you wait a few days, then it might cost more to have them overnighted to you. And you folks in other countries, Australia and whatnot out there, I don't know if we're going to be able to get your books in time. But nevertheless, you'd still be able to watch it. I'll explain that later. Right now, what I suggest you do is go to sevenfoldmiraclecrusades.com, get signed up for the live stream. We ask a gift of $100. That includes both crusade books that you'll need. But you need to sign up quickly so we can get them out there in time for the crusade. sevenfoldmiraclecrusades.com. I also recommend that you go get Miss the Mark, Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, and my new book, How PreTrib Won, at prophecyclub.com. Most people agree that the book of Daniel is the most difficult book in the Bible to understand. Tribulation Secrets in Daniel explains the parts of Daniel that us tribulation saints are going to need to know. It exposes the plans of the Antichrist, how to spot the Antichrist, his physical appearance, the sound of his voice, how he rises to power and takes over the world. 1 for 20, but don't do that. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets of 10. 10 for 30, 20 for 40 at prophecyclub.com. Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, 1 for 20, 10 for 30, 20 for 40 at prophecyclub.com. I also just learned that Heaven's Harvest has more food in stock. That's right, freeze-dried, the coveted freeze-dried food in stock at heavensharvest.com. And if you put the promo code in STAN, it helps your Prophecy Club, and it also gets you a packet of heirloom seeds free. heavensharvest.com. Promo code STAN, S-T-A-N, heavensharvest.com, STAN. As you know, I make many broadcasts referring to a list of dreams, visions, audible voices I believe are from God, given to Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldea, Leslie Johnson, Henry Groover, Shane Warren, Terry Bennett, Maurice Sklar, Augusto Perez, Doug Metzger, Bree Keaton, and more. Now you can have your very own copy. It's called God's Warnings to America. 1 for 20, 5 for 30, 10 for 55 at prophecyclub.com. God's Warnings to America at prophecyclub.com. When a nuclear device is detonated, the wind blows the dust settling on everything around you. Then you breathe, eat, or absorb radioactive iodine, which then kills your thyroid and kills you. A simple fix is to immediately take potassium iodate pills, which flood your thyroid with good iodine, keeping the radioactive iodine out. You need 1 bottle per person per exposure for everyone from infant to adult. 10 bottles available for a gift of $225 or $25 per bottle at prophecyclub.com. Shelf life from 5 to 8 years, potentially more if you refrigerate or freeze it. That's prophecyclub.com, potassium iodate pills. My new book, How PreTrib Won, is divided into 4 quadrants. First of all, it answers the question, how PreTrib won. The next quadrant sets the foundations that you'll need to understand the truth about the rapture. The third segment is explaining the post-trib rapture, and the fourth section is 25 pre-trib questions answered. I believe it's going to be the definitive book that is going to finally answer the question about the rapture. Is it pre, mid, or post? It's called How PreTrib Won, How the Lie Beat the Truth, and the People Would Have It So. 1 for 20, 10 for 30, 20 for 40 at prophecyclub.com. It's a quick read that will finally answer your questions about the rapture. How PreTrib Won, 1 for 20, 10 for 30, 20 for 40 at prophecyclub.com. The easiest way to listen and watch Prophecy Club YouTube videos is to download our free app from the App Store. This is not to be confused with WatchProphecyClub.com, where you can watch 26 years and over 300 DVDs for a subscription of $20 a month or $200 a year. The app allows you to watch our YouTube videos and listen to our radio programs very easily. Go check it out at your App Store. In 2017, I memorized the book of Revelation just as a simple project. Surprisingly, I began to receive information on 30 revelations and 2 visions beyond what is found in the Bible. God showed me a secret door, which is based upon a single word found in Revelation and Leviticus, linking the feasts to the prophecies. When linked, a person enters into an understanding of Bible prophecy not previously known. Even though I've been in the world of Bible prophecy for 40 years, frankly, I did not know anything of what is in this book. One prophetic word described it this way: there is a lock that I have put over a word in the book of Revelation that I'm going to open to you. It will turn so many books written on the end-time message into obsolete books. That's this book. Topics are: Jesus returns on what feast? The secret of the feasts. Who are the 2 witnesses? What is the morning star? The judgment seat explained. The great white throne explained. The nations explained. What is the shout? And the parables explained. Seals, trumpets, and vials go in what order? 2 amazing prophecy charts on the back flap, 12 inches by 9 inches. Imagine a book on prophecy that brings a fresh, new, accurate perspective. I don't want you to get 1 book for $20. I want you to get 5 books for $30 or 10 for $55. It's called The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, available at prophecyclub.com. The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. 1 for 20. No, don't do that. You want to get 5 for 30 or the best deal, 10 for $55. prophecyclub.com. Whether you are pre-trib, mid-trib, or pre-wrath or post-trib, whatever your position is, this book will help you to find the truth. If you're really looking for the truth about the rapture, I honestly believe you will find it in this book. It'll settle in your spirit because the truth is the Holy Spirit knows the truth about the rapture. And one of the reasons that the people other than post-trib can't seem to find peace about this is because the Holy Spirit is trying to tell them that they don't have the truth. That is, until they find post-trib. But either way, this is going to help you to find the peace about the rapture. I really recommend you get it. 1 for 20, 10 for 30, 20 for 40. That's 1 for 20, 10 for 30, 20 for 40. You want to get extras with this because once you read this one, you're going to be handing this to your pastors, to all of your Christian friends, and just ask them to read it. If they get through the first chapter, they're going to read the whole book, and they're going to love it, and it's going to help them to really find the truth about the rapture. How PreTrib Won at prophecyclub.com. How PreTrib Won, How the Lie Beat the Truth, and the People Would Have It So at prophecyclub.com.